So we will continue. We know we are very motivated after this long day, but we still have one very nice session about transformation and then a final program before dinner. So let's jump into that. I am Eszter Davida, director of KÉK, which is the Hungarian Contemporary Architecture Center. And I want to start with a personal story because actually this whole ETOM NEB-Lab started last year at the Venice Biennale, where I accidentally met Helena, and then Ruta, and then Hubert, and then Robert. And we just realized that from Lithuania to Germany, we are actually discussing on the same topics. And so this is when we came up with the idea that, okay, maybe we should make an international platform for it. And I'm really, really, really happy that this is one of the first big events of that. And we already have more than 30 international partners joining us, but if somebody is not a partner, we are really open for anything. So it's a really a nice milestone for us. So our next birthday will be actually at the Venice Biennale. So come talk to us, and yeah, that's why the networking events are good for. So who knows what we found this time, right? Yeah. So Jani, please.
Yes, hi, and I'm János Klanicai. I'm also one of the lead curators at the Hungarian Contemporary Architecture Center. I'm an architect, and for my personal, not even story, but like, let's say, half-minute statement is that I don't only work in KÉK, where we organize a lot of cultural programs that, out of which a lot actually focus on these large housing estates, but I also work at the University of Technology and Economics in Budapest, Department of Urban Planning and Design, where we also focus with the students on these housing estates. And what we found with all of the programs that we organize and all of the different like projects that we have actually done is that the transformation of these housing estates make a very, very good research, but a very, very good focus for public programs as well. So I'm very interested in how the transformation in European countries and other countries are going on, because the ones in Budapest I already sort of know, or at least I have a picture of. But I'm really glad that we can be hosting this section. Yeah, so thanks.
Yeah, so actually we are going for a discussion about the realities of the transformation, the different realms we have in different countries, and we also want to discuss if sustainable transformation exists at all. If yes, then which are the tools, methodologies we can share here. Yeah, so Jani will tell you the schedule of this session, and then we jump into the presentations.
So how we will do this in 2 hours and 15 minutes, or at least that's the goal.
Just kidding.
You had 3 and now you can do 2:30 to 45.
Yeah. Okay. So how we will do it is that we will have, of course, first the impulse statements. We will have 6 presenters, each doing a 10-minute lecture. And then we will have a very short public workshop where Esther and I will ask dedicated questions we already sort of prepared for. But the audience will not be involved in that first section because it will be a very short section. Because after that, what we want to do is to do the breakout rooms. There will be 2 breakout rooms. One of the groups will stay here and will talk mostly about the architectural scale of these refurbishments and these renovations and the transformations. The other group will more focus on the urban scale of transformation, which will be downstairs in the lobby or hall. Yeah.
Yes.
And then we will reconvene here to do a lessons learned and share the concrete experiences and experiments that we have found.
Yes. So let's jump into the first impulse presentation, which will be Hubert Trammer, who is an architect and a member of the Roundtable of the European Bauhaus, nominated for the EU Prize for Architecture Mies van der Rohe Awards, member of the jury at architecture competitions, but he was working with several institutions and companies all over Europe. Somebody told me that everybody knows Hubert, so that's him. Yeah, the floor is yours, and that's the presentation. Welcome.
Okay, so I will say about, can we have a presentation already? So I will say about the transformation which has undergone in Poland, because Poland, I think, is the country where the big house. Can I have presentation, because I wanted to have the title already behind me. The Poland is the country which I think maybe the such settlement are mostly appreciated. Peter, you can see that 1 year ago, during the election campaign, the program Friendly Estate, but at that time governing party, was launched as one of highlights of election campaign, and by the Prime Minister at that time. And you see, as political programs, it is very short. But what is important, significant, that all the things were technical, like improving acoustics, adding elevators, adding photovoltaic, thermal modernization, but nothing regarding the structure. Very interesting subject was investment in parking lots, but not at the expense of the green areas. So it is always the conflict. Also improving the green areas, and as a degradation with this parking lots, here is the quotation for Polish Constitution, and I have cancelled the words which are not in real and put what is real, that Constitution said that states should support housing, but in fact it supports parking, and one point of this program was the same. And also regarding the image, the interesting thing is that I learned that in former Soviet Union, but yesterday I learned that also in Romania, big housing estates, in Poland or in Germany, there are big housing estates, but in former Soviet Union there are micro-rayons, because on the scale of Soviet Union there were micro, and on the scale of Poland or Germany they were big, but in Romania there are also micro-rayons, but there is also name Blokowiska, which was something regarding as something critical, and the people who were living, some hooligans, were called blockers, but now it has changed, and here you can see the way which was gone. Show two films. In 2001 there was film Blockersi about guys who were making hip-hop living in very awful blokowiskas, and in 2017 there was other film Bloki showing that there are idyllic housing estates much better than that what developers do, and this way was gone through several actions. One was the initiative of the society od Blokuj, created by the group of people within which was Marlena Hapak, who will be then with us. She was for 9 years city architect of Warsaw afterwards, and now she's the director of National Institute of Heritage, and they organized several workshops in the settlement, changing and especially changing the image. Other initiative is the Museum of Housing Estates, which is in Lublin, also a non-governmental organization-based initiative. They create the workshops for schools, also for university students, and they are located within the pavilions. And the other thing is the piece of art, Quintic Wool. It was 2005. The artist made a piece of art portraying the house which is regarded to be the longest house in Warsaw, and was a symbol of how bad are these estates. So such photos were shown. In the meantime, it was renovated, so you see how it is 800 meters long building. So in other countries they are longer, but in Poland also are, but not housing. And you see that this building, which was regarded as something bad, now it is appreciated. And one of the changes in 2005, there was a conference and exhibition, Unwanted Heritage. There was also the book Bad Born, so it shows how it was regarded, and the actions against to change this were like that. And then was also the guidebook on Warsaw blokowiskas to changing image, and these two middle and right-hand side books are already the books which are now printed about the guidebook of such settlement, because people just want to buy it. And there is also a group Zupa Grafika, which make a series of books like Brutal Poland. They also sell the models. They also make other like Concrete Siberia, Brutal Eastern blocks, also Modern East about German Democratic Republic. And also the project is the tenants from around Europe. They portrait tenants of the buildings with the models of the buildings in which they live. There was also one of turning points was the exhibition Varsovia Diest, comeback of Le Corbusier behind the Iron Gate. Behind the Iron Gate was the name of the settlement, is the name of the settlement in the center of Warsaw, and they made the exhibition in the settlement, which was regarded good, when they have quotation from the Athens Charter, together with the comments from 2012, where they criticized the situation there. Also, there was Joanna Kusiak, who will have keynote speech there. She also have a contribution there, and there was also that famous Pruitt-Argoat demolition was not because of architecture but other circumstances. And this settlement, it has been densified, so you can see like these buildings existing. There is 19 same-looking buildings were treated like a rocks, between which and you see the big street in the middle, and right-hand side there is very big densification, and on the left-hand side no, because there was empty space for not built service buildings. So this cooperative on the left-hand side could sell this empty space, and on the right-hand side they have to densify their settlement. You see, this is very close to the Warsaw Palace of Culture and Science, and you see here the Google Earth view how it was how it is with this building. And in 1935 it was dense city center then, and during the Second World War it was destroyed, but not in such extent that it could not be rebuilt, but it was rebuilt as this settlement, quitting all previous development. And in 1986 already took place the international urban workshops from neighborhood, from downtown, when architects from communist countries plus Yugoslavia, Sweden and Austria, Finland and Austria were doing the project. The name was From the Neighborhood to Downtown, to transform it again to the city center. But what is significant, that in the introduction was written that demolition is not the solution, that it is always the heritage. So they were rejecting such kind of city, wanted to densify it, but not to destroy. So it was 6 years before start of demolition of Bildermermer in Amsterdam, Netherlands, and Poland already knew that what in Netherlands they know after many years of demolition. And then this is the photos from the catalog from that time, and the project which saw different kinds of densification, but in all cases preserving the building of that settlement. And the other example is other example is the settlement from the beginning of 70s, when they proposed to the new method of new construction system, when it could provide the flexible use, so services of ground floor, flexible changes in the apartments. But finally it was not introduced, but the apartments are quite good, and it was also a new way that you see that they wanted to have a kind of streets in the settlement, so the car traffic was separated as at that time, and the idea was the pedestrian street in the middle of the settlement, but it was not fully recognizable. There was also the new system of the roads, new system of schools. On the left-hand side you see the proposed service building, which were not built. There was also a special school design, and then you can see by the street the classical block. It is the densification which took place within that settlement. So in this space which something was not built. So I think that this densification was quite good. However, many people criticize it. I say that in Netherlands they are a nation of sailors, so for them the interior of ship is natural. In Poland we are a nation of farmers, so field is natural to us. And then you see that densification, in my opinion, works very good. Here in the middle, round building is the private university. it was built because the master plan supposed space for education there. And then other master plan, which was agreed 2 years ago, other settlement also by metro line, but the densification is much reduced in this area. So you see the new approach is to keep those settlements. And in my opinion, when there's metro line, they should allow more densification, but it is the today's approach toward the settlement. Other settlement in Poland, we say that our normatives have the smallest apartments. For example, the apartment for 5 persons was for 54 meters, and then there is the settlement where the architect proposed the flexible floor plan. It was not built, but it was to be by furniture, but this furniture was not produced. But then it was nice do with the brick cladding. And then by the renovation, they put some of the brick clad, the tiles, which follows the original layout. The other is that plasters and some kind of layout on the balconies which follow the previous mosaic, and there was a fake participation that inhabitants were throwing a chess to choose the pattern. And this is the reaction of something called pastelosa. It is one journalist has written and criticized that everything is colorful, and now it is not colorful in Poland. And the other is the participatory project. The director of the cultural center in Lublin, she wanted to upgrade the area in front of it, and she invited 2 groups in conflict, elderly and young, and they did it together. And to make them work together, she before organized the workshops with these youngsters, learned graffiti to the old people. So, and then it works together and is very good. And the last example is the project that Lublin is the city, American city with a lot of urban motorways, and one unfinished viaduct was by the group of activists in the form of guerrilla gardening. They planted a tree, and then it was taken care by the priest from the nearest church, but after 5 years it was taken by the municipal direction of green spaces. Thank you very much, and sorry for being 2.5 minutes too long.